right. All right, all right, all right. That's good evening. Good evening. Happy Thursday. I don't know if anybody's here, but if you are, welcome. I'm Doc Solo, the founder and director of Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, the real art school for real people with real lives, taught by real pros. And welcome to a Thursday night session of Solo's Sketch and Chill. Let me see if I can get this some music playing. I need some sounds, at least for so that you guys can hear it. That's what I want. I want some chill music tonight. It's been one of those days. So we gonna really chill out and relax a little bit. All right. Now, while I figure out what are we drawing tonight, and seeing as we are still relatively new to this streaming thing, and it doesn't seem to be anybody to take requests from, I'm gonna pull out a different color. I'm gonna try. I got some new blue tinted tonal paper that I want to play out. It's like a bluish gray. I'm like, ooh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? All right. Let's see what we got here. I don't know if that's a bot lurking, but if you're lurking, if you're watching, welcome. Don't be shy. Come out and sit a spill, and let's see about making something really cool. Gotta do this with my left hand. I'm still doing some style explorations on some simplification. And today, I think the last thing we did an animated style archangel. I want to go female tonight. Let me see something. I think I know who I want to do. Let's get a nice headshot tonight. See if we do like an animated type of likeness. I'm pulling up some reference photos right now. Yeah, we'll do that. That's kind of cool. We'll do that. We'll do a simplified animated version of Letitia Wright. I don't know how close I'll get to the likeness, but we'll have some fun with it. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear this. I gotta have my own music going. Turn it down a little bit. So it doesn't register on the mic. So you should only hear me and the music that is playing for you. Ideally. All right. So let's start off with ooh, that's nice and dark. Might want to start off with some color pencil. That's kind of, yeah, there we go. I need something to give me some contrast. Never used this tint of tonal paper before. There's some extra blue light going on there, so I get some good cast shadows. We're still doing an animated, simplified version. Still kind of playing in those waters a little bit. I'm not trying to go hyper realistic. I've been doing, well, I don't do hyper realistic anyway. I've been doing naturalistic stuff on my studio all day. So this is just kind of relax. And so I hope you're having a good night. It's so nice outside. It took everything I had to come in here and actually start drawing, because I literally want to like sit out on my deck and just kind of defrag. It's been a hectic few days. But welcome, if you're here. I'm Solo, the founder and director of Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, the real art school for real people with real lives, taught by real pros. I still don't have great reference. I'm doing an animated Letitia Wright with some face paint, and I want to have the Black Panther cowl, but I want to see her face. As much as I had hoped for more, sadly, Black Panther 2 was somewhat forgettable for me. Just didn't hit the mark like I hoped it would. Now when we're drawing here, we always got to remember that hair kind of sits at the top, kind of like a helmet, right? So we have to, because hair has volume, right? Because it has volume, I see a lot of aspiring artists forget to add said volume when they're doing hair. So it's always best to start with that base skull that you see as I did underneath here, right? And then I allow some space from between the skull and the top of the hair, and then I put the volume in. So I'm not going to noodle too much with this. What I'm trying to find is the reference of her decowled for Black Panther 2. There we go. So I'm just trying to get some of the details. Her costume was so elaborate. It was so elaborate. All right. I'm not gonna put her in the cornrows. I'm gonna have her in the in her nice curly hairstyle. All right, we're gonna start here. Again, I'm not looking for hyperrealism. I'm looking to get the essence of the character and do a simplified animated rendition of her. If you were to see her in a cartoon, what might she look like? So I'm taking a lot of style license. Get a little bit of definition with that cleft of that lip first before I commit to it. Just kind of keep it kind of simple. And this is an exercise for me in simplification, getting back to my animation roots. I'm using a brush pen. I think this is a Kuretake. I'm not sure. Forget. I jump around a lot. I'm trying not to spin the paper a lot for you guys, so you guys can get some good shots here. What I'm doing. Hey, is this manga? This is not manga, but this is a simplified animated, my attempt at an animated version of Shuri from Black Panther. I'm just kind of relaxing tonight, not trying to but I do know how to do manga. This is just me kind of cooling off after a day full of comic chores for my studio. How are you tonight? How's it going? Thanks for popping in from YouTube. I don't know why I'm doing that, because I don't simplify it. I shouldn't have all this feathering. See, you're watching me trying to self-correct. I'm good, thanks. Great. Fantastic. Fantastic. Where are you watching from? As the title of the video says, this is sketch and chill. Not trying to do anything too heavy. I've had a day of heavy art chores, and this is just me kind of relaxing as we try to grow our presence here everywhere. But I'm solo. Pleasure to virtually meet you. And you might even see me mess up, because this is all live. I want to really make her eyes kind of big and animated. There we go. Really big and full of life. And still hooded. You're from Iraq. Oh, wow. How's it over there? How are you over there? I'm from Chicago, Illinois. That's what I love about social media. You get people from everywhere. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. What time is it over there? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, wow. In the morning? In the morning? Or in the afternoon? Yes, Black Panther. Shuri from Black Panther. Yes, indeed. That's who I'm trying to nail down. A reasonable animated likeness. Oh, and in the evening. Well, thank you for popping in. And here it is. I was complaining about it being late in the evening for me, and it's not nearly as late as it is for you. Not even close. And we want to avoid tangents whenever possible. And so we kind of put a little under, because she has some thick eyelashes. So welcome. Thank you for popping in. I hope you decide to follow. I'm going to be doing these on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday moving forward. As we get the YouTube channel in order. So you're watching my attempt. I actually have an online art school. I'm a professional artist and animator. I've worked for Marvel. I've worked in cartoons and video games. I've done all the stuff. And as our channel states, we're an online art school. We teach people how to draw the cool stuff. Hey, Wasabi, how are you, my friend? How are you? Doing something very light and easy after a day full of work. And so I'm doing Shuri from the Black Panther in an animated style. You stopped drawing for like a year, and that's all right. That's all right. That's what the school is for. right? That's actually why I created this school, for people like that used to draw, that stopped for whatever reason, and think they might want to pick it back up again. Yeah, the beautiful thing about art is that you can always return to it. It's very forgiving. You know what I mean? It's very forgiving. I know this ink is forcing me to be very strategic. It's forcing me to be very strategic in how I lay it down. Because it stays wet for a long time. So I want to get some curls in here early, and then I'm gonna treat the rest of the hair like a mass. This is Letitia Wright with her hair down. Even though she was from Great Britain, she was actually a member of my church here in Chicago. She officially, at one time, a few years ago, was a member of my church. She came across my former pastor online and joined my church. Inking is the best part. Inking is also the most it's also going to be the most terrifying part for a lot of people. The thing about inking is you have to do it with confidence. You got to lay the stuff down and kind of trust your gut. And it can be somewhat terrifying. It can be somewhat terrifying. I'm going to actually use a brush now. I've been using a brush pen, but I'm going to use a brush to lay down some very large swaths of color. And this is just inkwell.
Winds southerly at about 15 with gusts of 25 miles an hour. Barometric pressure 30.00 and is rising. And no precipitation. We're about a half inch behind, correction, a half inch ahead for the year, and 1 53/100ths behind for the year so far. We'll be looking for a little bit of a change tomorrow, and of course the possibility of some scattered showers. Today, of course, there's nothing.
You're doing well. Glad to hear. Yeah, man. You just installed a 50-foot Ethernet cable, so your PC is hardwired. I love it. I love it. You've been doing techie stuff all day. Me, I've been researching and working on prints and posters, trying to get things in order for the studio, sending out emails for the school. All the some of it was fun, some was not so fun. But we don't complain. I get to do this. I don't have to do this. It's a blessing to be able to do what I love now as opposed to what I used to do. So yeah. This morning's live stream went well, Wasabi. I think I spoke about you a little bit. You're right, that making the best like manga or the comic to do the hard job, but I want to ask the way manga is more popular than comics. Oh, manga is taking over the marketplace. But here's what people don't realize. You know, it's because it's more the styled aesthetic, and to their credit, the very interesting and innovative storylines that they use. But all manga is Japanese just for comics. It literally means the same thing. But the appeal of it, I was into manga before it was popular, like back in the 90s, when it really wasn't selling here like that yet. And so it didn't surprise me when people took to it, you know, the way that they did, the way that the US did. You know, everyone likes imports. You know, the only difference is over in Asia. Manga is part of the entertainment culture, where still here in the States, comics are still relatively fringe. Yeah, please watch it. Thank you. I'm trying to throw something together quick and see, you know, just to see what I come, just free and loose, not trying to make a masterpiece, but to see if I can do a simplified version that is respectable. The beautiful thing about using tonal paper is that tonal paper creates an automatic mid-tone, which makes it very conducive to just kind of navigating the drawing. Are there American mangaka? Well, technically, I'm an American mangaka. You know, mangaka is just, you know, a manga professional. And so I like how you said that, American mangaka. Yeah, there are American. Anyone who works in the industry that's a professional is technically an American mangaka. We don't have, because it's still not, because it and it probably never will reach the prestigious status that it has over in Asia. You know, we don't have like they have the extensive schools and, you know, live-in, you know, hostels with aspiring manga artists, you know, learning, you know, from the mangaka. We don't have that type of infrastructure here, unfortunately, which is a shame. Which is a shame, really. It's kind of, I find it fascinating. American mangaka. I love that. Now I'm doing stuff with a brush simply because I'm trying to improve my brush skills. I'm not by no way a brush master, but I'm getting much more proficient with it. And I can easily do this with a pen, because Lord knows I'm spoiled for choice with pens, and brush pens which would give me a lot more control. That's why I said you might watch me mess up tonight. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm doing, you guys. I'm literally doing in front of you what I would do if you weren't here, and that's just practicing, you know, and seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like. I know a lot of people on YouTube and on Twitch, you know, go out of their way to try to kind of impress. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm processing and navigating to see where I've never used this paper before. So it's curious to see how it's responding to this wet media. How it's responding to this ink. I've never used, so I'm not practiced up. You're watching what we encourage our students at Ka-Pow to do on their own. Just explore, right? And if I end up with something great, and guess what? If I don't, I get to do it again. You know what I mean? I get to do it again. And that's the thing about art, not afraid of messing up. Just go ahead and just lean into it. And the greatest lessons are in the mistakes. Already I'm seeing things I don't like. And I'm like, okay, cool. I know what I'll do next time. And that's part of the process. Not being pensive, not being, too careful. Just really letting loose and letting go. There's an artist on ArtStation amongst many really great ones. Oh, you're talking about Artem Solop. He has a very sketchy style art. Here's a funny thing. I'm trying to get into the sketchy style. I'm trying to really learn how to loosen up, is what I call it. Like, I've always been very anal with clean lines and everything being perfect, and so believe it or not, this is part of that process for me just kind of relaxing and letting it happen. I'm trying not to be so anal retentive. Thank you. Alaikum salam. Have a good night. Get some sleep. He tuned in from Iraq. That is like the coolest. You gotta remember, I'm Gen X, so just this was not possible 20 years ago. This level of connection was not possible 20, 30 years ago. And so being able to really meet people from different cultures, that it's 2:00 in the morning where he was. That is cool. That is so cool. And he came across my live stream on YouTube. So cool. We live in a marvelous time. Anytime's a great time to be alive, but this is kind of cool. See, I've noticed how this paper is not nearly as absorbent as I expected it to be. Which is fine. Because I'm about to switch gears in a second here. And I'm going to do some, hopefully some, I'm trying to get some of these details. It's funny, one of my wife's friends was actually a stunt double for Letitia Wright in the movie. In this movie. And so, just me trying to get the beats of this is very nerve-wracking, to say the least. I'll go ahead and put this black in here. Then I'm gonna start adding I'm gonna refine it with I'm not gonna use this brush the entire time. That part of me that still needs neat lines is starting to kick in, just so I don't completely lose control of it. Pick up some of this ink here, move it there. I'm gonna sit that there and I'll clean this brush later. Let that ink dry as I try to avoid it. try. I'm gonna spin the paper so I don't smear. Because if I get a bad smear, you're gonna watch me start all over again. I'm not really digging it, but I'm gonna keep going to see if I can salvage it. And bring it at least to a place where I can, like, okay, I can tolerate it. I'm not digging these eyes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to this is the beauty. I love, see, this is haptic feedback to me. See here, the scratch. I don't know if you can hear that ASMR, the scratch of the paper. Can't get this when I'm working on the screen. This takes me back. This is why I like to warm up and cool down traditionally. It's just me, the tool, the surface of the paper, and chance. Can we end up with something somewhat cool? Even if they would add artificial pen sounds, it would go a long way, right? I know, right? It's just nothing just beats this. I try not to go down the rabbit hole with people with which do you like better? You know, whenever people ask me that, Wasabi, I kind of deflect a little bit because I don't want to dissuade anybody from using what works for them. But if I have a bias always leans towards this. You know what I mean? I know people always want to use whatever a professional artist use, and I get it. I used to do the same way. What pen? I still do it. Like I'll ask. There's an artist on right now on Twitch who has a huge following. Anthony Wheeler. I follow him on the Ka-Pow on this account, on this channel's account. Incredible pen and ink artist and illustrator. Very talented, very capable. But tonight he mentioned a pen, and I immediately Googled it just so I could play with it, as if I need another pen. I need another pen like I need another hole in my head. I got pens that I ain't never used before. They're just sitting here, just stacked up, waiting for me to play with. And my goal for this year is to get through all of them. Is to get through every single one of them. Yeah, I really like this one. This one has a really great tip. I can't remember what it is. I think I ordered this one on Amazon. Great brush stroke. Get some really great strokes out of this. Now I'm just gonna kind of her costume is so hyper detailed. I'm just going to kind of really just kind of loosely just allude to the Black Panther motif. I know she has all these little dots. I'm going to add those in white. So let me go ahead and add some more black down here. Yet another pen. This one's dry. I'll use that for the finish at the bottom. tighten up her face a little bit more. I'm gonna add a shadow on the side of that nose. Kind of add some rough details here. Art is every bit as much what you don't do as it is what you actually put on the substrate, on the surface, on the paper. You might hear me say substrate. I'm not trying to sound hooty tooty. Highfalutin. Take some of this wetness here and kind of feather it out. That's the beauty of a dry brush. That gives you that nice controlled, sketchy brush strokey feel. Go ahead and dry this out a little bit more. Hopefully you're not picking up too much of my TV. Because it's not it's not copyright protected. I mean, it is copyright protected. If it picks up on the stream, it's like, you have a strike against you. All right. Let me go see if I can, let me put a top on this, because this will get ugly really quick if I don't. I have spilled ink before, y'all, and trust me, not fun. Do not recommend it. This ended up not turning out like I wanted it to, but we're going to lean into it. I didn't hit the beats that I wanted, so I'm not really that happy with it. Get a little shadow on the side of the nose right here. One of the things I always tell people when drawing, trying to draw culturally and ethnically accurate, make sure that you know the prominent features that distinguish us culturally. I don't like using the word race. I like ethnicity. Teach his own. See if I can salvage how much of this I can salvage. All right, so I'm going to Hopefully this will dry a little bit more before I take this eraser to it. Still getting a little ink stuff. I'll just go around it for now. Yeah, see, I got ink all over my hands. See? Ugh. Hold on just a second. Gotta get this off my hands. Not a good look. It's all of my pencils and everything else. It's just not really absorbing this paper. So, revelation number one on this is my first time using this blue tonal paper, is it seems to be ink resistant. And so this may be relegated to pencil drawings and colored pencil. I'm gonna play with it some more. I'm using different pens and inks. But right now it seems very ink resistant. It's everywhere. A lot of migration that I do not like. It's all over my pencil. It's all over my pencil. It's over my paintbrush. A lot of migration all over my fingers. Yeah, not a fan of that. Seems very ink resistant. So we'll see if we can lift some of it off of the page. Should have enough dry right now. This is a drafting eraser. I call it an eraser sock. It gently irritates the paper just enough. The only problem is it leaves a lot of eraser because it's just filled with rubber filings. Filled with rubber filings. Let's see if any of it's transferred to it. Okay. So now we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna see if we can spruce this up a little bit. Put some white. Put some white. Now the good thing is, because of this tonal blue, this white should really pop. I'm using medium pressure to kind of bring a little highlight into her face. And then as I get away from that, I kind of lighten up a little bit. I'm a little darker towards the edge because I want some definition towards the edge of her face. And I'm using circular motions. And as I get further away from the intense light source, which is on this line, I get softer to where it's basically the pencil is just kind of resting on the paper. And that's how you get a nice little value transition. I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow with her nose is gonna catch a little bit here. Not a great lightness. I was going for an animated version of Letitia Wright. Not the best. I guess if she was animated, she kind of looked like this, but it ended up being a little too comic booky for me. Unless not animated enough. Now this is a Faber-Castell white pencil. I don't really use Faber-Castell a lot. They do make great utensils. I don't use them. I usually use Prismacolor, for those of you who are interested. And use some grays to kind of add some. My C4 is acting funny, so that's C5. I don't know if I want to use something that dark. I'll use a tonal 4. Let's use a tonal 4. Let's see what we get with this blue paper. Let's use tonal 4. Oh, you are dry. Oh my gosh, that means I haven't used you enough. Yeah, you bone dry. So I will sit you aside and order some refills for you. That's the thing with Copics. They will dry up on you. They will dry up on you. Let me see. Because it's alcohol. They're alcohol. So let me see if this warm 3, what it gets me. I actually have alcohol. I have the alcohol mix of the markers. I have a bottle of it. There's a specific isopropyl ethyl alcohol mix in these markers, and I actually have a bottle of it. Where's my bottle? Because I am being lazy. Told you it's been a long day. It's been a long day. See, this is it right here. This is the solution, right? And all you got to do is take, and this is a great tip. You just kind of, instead of going to get a refill, you can actually just rehydrate, because even though the marker may go dry, it still has pigment in it. There's a few drops to kind of get it activated. Put the tip back in it, and that's low marker surgery. And let it rehydrate. I kind of see it running in. Yeah. I'm just trying to salvage this drawing at this point, because I'm not happy with it. This might be a giveaway on my Whatnot show. Yeah, man. I told you, now I'm really becoming a fan of Ohuhu. Now that Ohuhu has, because here's the funny thing, none of them are light fast. And for those of you who don't know what light fast is, means that alcohol markers are not light fast. They won't hold up over time against UV. Not going to happen. So, you know, they look good in the moment. Want that nice hooded eye on her. She's looking better already. I think. I think this may have helped salvage this as best I could. Amazing what adding. And here's the funny thing, when you do an animated style, you're not supposed to be adding this dimension, but this is like a desperate attempt to try to Again, salvage this. And hopefully hopefully this will encourage some of you. 9 times out of 10, when a piece doesn't turn out right, it's not even, especially when you're in a certain headspace, which I've been in all day, your art's always going to reflect where you're at in your head, quite honestly. And this piece not turning out like I wanted to, believe it or not, is very consistent with, the day. Planes of the head. Just gotta know your planes. Just let you know where to put shadows. It kind of looks like this pupil is kind of dodging the nose. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna just bring it in there. There we go. Yeah. It's typical of the type of day it's been. Oh hoo hoo, yes. Oh hoo hoo. Yep. Oh hoo hoo. They now do marker refills. I bought them. They're a very affordable alcohol marker, and I think they're out of Hawaii. And I bought them because they were cheap, and I wanted a cheap convention marker to take with me, so I didn't take my Copics, a marker that was so affordable that if it ran out and I had to toss it, I was okay with it. But Ohuhu went ahead and said, you know what? We don't want to be considered the cheap marker no more. And they upped their game. They really upped their game. And now they offer refills. And basically trying to come at Copic, basically to become a more affordable option, because Copics are pricey. I have almost a complete set. Yeah. So they're coming. They're trying to mark their space, which I don't hate. Competition is the capitalistic way. I remember when layering your markers, they actually do layer. Remember that? They can layer. Usually you have about 3 passes where you get full saturation of pigment. So if you ever wonder how certain, and I'm not a marker master, but I am proficient at it. It's one of my missions to become, better, period. Put a little shadow under her hair. Show that the hair does cast a shadow over her face. There seems to be a lot of companies on the rise, really being healthy alternatives to popular brands. Yeah, because Copics had a stranglehold on it. Yep, absolutely. Just like all the tablets now. Before it was Cintiq. That's all you had, right? And Cintiq knew that, even though it's still the industry standard, now you got Weon and you got XP Pro. You have all these competitors that are putting out really, really good alternatives at affordable prices. And I'm quick to suggest them to my students. I'm quick with it. You know, I have a Cintiq, but I got mine when, believe it or not, it wasn't a lot of options. But I'm actually thinking about getting a second tablet. I'm thinking about getting like a Weon, something. So now that the school is growing, I'm going to be partnering with other entities like the comic book shops here locally that are partners with me. And I'm going to be doing live appearances. And though I have my iPad, I want to really show. Yeah, XP Pen is good. Yeah, XP Pen is good. You got good taste, man. XP Pen is good. I want to really make our eyes pop. Let me go ahead and make these really pop here. Yes, this blue. And I'm gonna add some white highlights to her eyes. I'm just gonna layer this a little bit more, get more depth separation. I'm gonna add some really poppy white. You liked the Weon, huh? When you had it? See, there we go. That's what I didn't like. It's lifting. Go ahead and dry for me so I can get some more white down here. I gotta be gentle. Yeah, it's like it's not really absorbing. It's not really absorbing like I like it to. Let me turn you down a little bit because I see you're still triggering the there we go. Really don't want that triggering the algorithm, my background music. I want what's playing through the stream to be it. Anybody got any big plans for this weekend? It is Thursday. It's Thursday. I lose track of days. It's Thursday, correct? I believe it's Thursday. Nobody mistitle this thing. Okay, thank you. I'm like, please don't let me mistitle this thing. That would not be. But it'd be consistent. It'd be consistent. I really want to kind of put some. I could actually had a more poppier white, something that popped more. But I'm trying to keep it simple. I can't wait for my big markers to get here. I have some big markers coming. What's up, one? What's happening? Oh, really? For the 50th anniversary of what? Of hip hop? Where was the panel held at? What was it on? I know you gave some spat that wisdom, bruh. I know you did. I know you spat that wisdom on Beautiful Fortune. She was on a raid train. Oh, a raid train. So I'm assuming that's when y'all just go from raid from channel to channel. Raid train. You know, all that's Twitchinese for me. I'm tired of being the ignorant guy on Twitch. I'm doing a animated Letitia Wright. Just adding a little visual interest here. Trying to salvage this crappy drawing because I hated it. I hated it. I was sharing with those that are in the stream that it's kind of to be expected when you're not in the best headspace, which I have not been, as you all know from this morning's stream at Honor Studios. So this is one of those be kind to thyself drawings. Be kind to thyself. All right, so now I'm gonna add some of the trimmings. You know, she has a lot of dots in this costume, and hopefully this ink that sits. So at least I learned how to use and how to not use this this paper. What to use it for and what not to use it for, because it is kind of unforgiving. It may be the type of ink that I used, which I don't know if it was alcohol based. The pens of these, I don't know if they were alcohol or water based. I'm not sure. I know this one is water based. This one here is water based. Yeah, this is non-waterproof black ink. So yeah, water-based ink is non-waterproof. Alcohol-based ink is typically waterproof. I believe that's the rhythm of it. How you feeling? How's your day, man? You've been jamming all day, Reason. I saw you. I got an alert when you got on again. I was trying to get some work done. You've been doing your thing all day. I hope it was. I hope you had a good time, man. And all said and done, I hope it was a blast. I'm not getting the flow that I want. I'm gonna have to use a brush. See, it wasn't a gospel stream. There we go. Now it's flowing. That's what I want. I'll get this white down here. Show me some love. That's all right. I'm not one of those things, you know, one of those people that everything has to be gospel. Everything has to be Christian. I'm listening to some non-Christian lo-fi hip-hop work music. I love my classic hip-hop, man. That's my generation. That's my era. That's my era. I know y'all were jamming out. I know y'all were. I don't even know where all these dots go. I'm just putting dots in places. Her costume is so ornate. It's ridiculous. Like, I really do think they went overboard with her Black Panther costume. I just always felt that way. I'm like, it's a little bit much. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put the markings on her face. I think I'm gonna merge some things. I'm gonna put the markings on her face. Yep, I'm still salvaging this. So I know one was from, she didn't have the white markings on her face like that in Black Panther 2, but I know they were on her face in Black Panther 1. That would be behind here. That would be up here. You wouldn't see that one. You'd see another one here. And probably hidden behind the hair here. And then you'd have them going around the eyebrows. I know. I'm just doing stuff, y'all. Trying my best to maintain, to salvage some visual interest. Always tell my students, when in doubt, when you think you messed it up, add noise. This is noise. Visual noise. It's something that was very prominent in the 90s, with artists that would over render. And a lot of artists, some artists do it today. They add a lot of detail and visual noise to distract from artistic deficiencies. In this case, I'm using targeted visual noise to kind of make me feel better about this. How's that looking, y'all? Thoughts? Or should I just scrap it? I'm using very strategic visual noise to kind of salvage this. Does it? Okay. You've been here the whole time. You heard me say I don't like it. What else do I want? Okay, so this right here is gold. That's gold. Let me see how a yellow colored pencil will look on this. Maybe something to highlight the metal claws on her suit to make them pop, just so they don't blend in with the costume. Yeah. I'm gonna go back and add. See, the way this works, Wasabi, because the first pencil I laid down was wax, right? Up here, the acrylic doesn't lay down on the wax well. So I'm going to do the colored pencil last on the talons on her suit. Right now, I just want to test to see how this is going to read visually. Because I can always erase it. Yeah, okay. It's just a little too bright. Try some goldenrod. Try some goldenrod. Yeah, that'll work. Actually, I'll lay a base down of this. And then I'll do a pass of goldenrod, because the yellow underbase will make that pop more. And I'm not trying to color this whole thing in. I'm just trying to add just a little bit of visual interest. Right? A little bit, because I still want that. The reason I did it on tonal paper, because I want the tonal paper to really do the lion's share of the heavy lifting. Yeah, I want the tonal paper to do the lion's share of the heavy lifting. Then I'm gonna go with a little goldenrod, and that brighter yellow underbase brightens up what I'm putting on top. It's an enhancer, and just enough. I'm not trying to color the entire thing. I'm just trying to hint towards some color. I could have used white as an underbase, but that white can it doesn't have enough color variance sometimes. So just like when we're doing something that's red with marker or with paint, a lot of times we'll use an orange underbase to really make the red pop and push the red through. Other than that, the red kind of looks lifeless. So I'm doing the same thing. And also, like when I do a green, like when I'm drawing the Hulk or I'm coloring the Hulk in traditional media, I'll use a yellow under the green, and it really makes the green pop, as opposed to just laying down the green. And I'm talking on white paper. If I just lay down the green by itself, yes, it's green, but it's a very flat green. Doesn't have any life to it. Well, I've been doing this for a long time, Wasabi. Been doing this for a long time. 30 years in this game. 30 years. So it's always about getting the most punch, especially when you're talking about, not just comics, but especially with comics, because there's an expectation of bright and vibrant when it comes to comics. There's an expectation of bright and vibrant and punchy. We use it in traditional painting as well. Enhancing color underneath to make the gold color really stand out. And I especially needed it here because I really wanted to allude that was gold. And now because it's gray paper and everything else is silver like the talons, I'm just gonna go over here with a nice loose white. And see, it's not as bright as that acrylic. Right? That gray kind of still shows through. Right? It's not as bright as that acrylic. That acrylic adds a hot point. That acrylic white, the titanium acrylic white, adds a hot point. And again, I'm letting the paper work as the mid-tone. Hopefully I salvage this thing. What up, Kev? Hopefully I salvage this thing, because I'm not happy with it. I failed in my attempt to make a more animated version. I've been studying Stephen Gordon, the guy who was the lead designer on X-Men Evolution, as well as Wolverine and the X-Men. He was the lead character designer. Because I'm prepping to get back to Whatnot, and I want to do some simplified. I want to do something that's easier on me as far as when I'm drawing live, in the performance live drawing. And that was like that Archangel I did the other night. It turned out kind of on point. This one not nearly as effective for me. Not nearly as effective, but we'll keep it. Somebody might buy it. You never know. Here's a funny thing. Like I said, at the risk of sounding like a humble brag, I don't have a hard time selling my artwork, even when I don't like it, which is a blessing. I thank God for that. Like, my son was like, "Dad, don't toss that away," because I'll toss it away. Like, I was notoriously a art trasher. I would trash. Off with your head, into the garbage. Yeah, off with your head, into the trash. That was my. And my son was like, "Dad, no, save that. Somebody will love that." I'm like, "Really?" And sure enough, and it taught me a lesson. You know, just do the thing. And show it anyway. And again, I'm not above even giving art away to people. I do that occasionally too, as I feel led to. So yeah, I added some visual noise, and I think I kind of did some artistic surgery on her a little bit. She doesn't suck as much. Not nearly as much. Not nearly as much. I'm gonna do something with this hair though. said, I learned that in stressful moments while arting, I just remember to take a minute and sort of go with the mental flow of where I'm at, and then steer into the artistic thought process, sort of get into this flowy vibe. I don't know if it makes totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. I've been flowing all day. I've been working on Honor Studio stuff all day, and it looks fine. This is me just trying to clear my head, and it shows that my head ain't nearly as clear as I'd like it to be. No, that makes perfect sense. You know, go with the emotion. Use the emotion or the headspace as fuel to fuel the art. Makes total sense. I totally get where you're coming from. Makes total sense. Perfectly good sense, my friend. I'm gonna take some off-white white charcoal. It's called General's Charcoal White. And I'm gonna add a little bit of just a little bit. I don't want to do too much. Remember, people, art is every bit as much what you leave out as it is of what you put in. The key is knowing which is which. And this is basically just white charcoal, chalk. It's a chalk pencil. They call it charcoal. I don't know why. It's really just chalk. And you know, see, it's brighter than, like if I did this, it's brighter than the color pencil. I don't know if you see that right there, but it's actually brighter than the color pencil. I can just remove it because it's chalk, see? I hate it when I break a tip. Learning something? This is what Ka-Pow. See, this is me in the teaching mode. And remember, we only have 6 seats available for the upcoming year at Ka-Pow the Comic Art Academy. The real online school for real people with real lives. That's what we are. That's who we are. That's what we are. And we have 6 seats available, and we have, I think, 3 interviews this week. We're kind of rocking more than I expected to this this promotional season. And you know, this is where I kind of hit the road and kind of evangelize Ka-Pow at conventions and all the other stuff. But the response so far has been humbling. People are coming. So if you want to level up your art skill, if you already can draw and you want to level up, you can actually bypass the first year. If we offer an aptitude drawing skills test. If you think that you want to go right into storytelling and you have the fundamentals down, we'll put you through some paces to see where you at. We'll put you through some paces to see where you at. You know, just like in school, when you certain people skipped a grade, you can skip a grade at Ka-Pow. You can skip your one. You just have to show us either through a portfolio or through a test, a skills test, that you know the stuff that's taught in year one. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. I'm getting some reels time here. I just had to put my phone up. I'm telling you, I'm making a massive push to really start to grow. My goal for you heard it here with Ka-Pow. My goal for next year is to have at least 20,000 followers, at least on YouTube. Twitch, that's a different story, but at least 20,000. We got 2,300 on Facebook. I'm okay with Facebook. We don't really care enough about Instagram, but my goal is to make a presence on YouTube and Twitch. I just left before I came on. I was watching Anthony Wheeler, and this is why I tell my students: if you can't handle it, don't watch other artists. Right? Seriously, because they will make you feel so inadequate. They will make you feel so inadequate. I was watching Anthony Wheeler, who I follow on Instagram for quite some time. An incredible illustrator. He specializes in children's books and the like. But just a great artist, and he comes off as a really cool guy. I don't know him from a can of paint. He did respond to me on Instagram, but I came on Twitch, man, to see. I got the notification because I follow him on Ka-Pow. And man, I got the notification. I saw how many people were in this room. Like, man, you could actually just got like 130 people watching you draw, and that's when you fall into that trap of social envy. Luckily, I've been doing this a long time, you know, and it really didn't faze me. But my students, like, you know, my students that want to grow their presence, they're like, Dr. Solo, you know, what do you do about all the other, there's so many good artists out there. I'm like, ignore them. Ignore them. If you can't handle acknowledging that the world is full of capable people, right? And that they had to start somewhere too. If you can't handle that, then stay off until you build the muscles. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they just won't produce. They'll get hard on themselves and be like, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not as good as this guy, you know. And that's a trap. That's one of the traps of social media. I hear it all the time. At shows when I'm invited to speak, people are like, yeah, you know, it's just so intimidating. You know, the world is, you know, I see this guy and this artist on social media, and this kid, she's 13. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's 13 and I'm 34. I can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can. She just started. That's all. She just started. But yeah, I jumped in on history and I was like, whoa. It's like, okay. But see, I'm competitive. That's my blessing and my curse. I'm uber competitive. You know, I'm a former professional level athlete and a cop and military vet. So competing and fighting is kind of part of my wiring. It hasn't always served me well, admittedly. I will say that, right? I do believe in healthy competition. It's not toxic competition, but I do believe in healthy competition. And I'm one of those guys that I need a war to fight, right? Sometimes I need an enemy to come against to kind of, you know, get the juices flowing, and that's okay. Even though, you know, I mean them no ill, I'm like, okay, I'm coming after you. You're there, I'm coming after you. Now you become a goal. You become a target of what I want to do with this. I believe you. I know you're gonna be bringing fire, man. I can't wait. I can't wait till you get on. I can't wait till you get on, man. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. I'm so looking forward to it. So looking forward to it. And let me go ahead and sign this. And we're going to call Shuri done. SOLO. And the date is 7/20/23. I think I salvaged that. Did I save it? Did I save this? Did I recover? I hope I recovered. Big time. Big time. Thank you. The power of noise. I might do a YouTube on that. A YouTube video on that, right? The power of noise. There's a lot of power in just keep going. Push through. See where you end up. You know what I mean? Don't bail on it just yet. That's going to end up with too thick a line. I see that already. I'm going to go ahead and put a little... Oh, nope. Chalk white. I hate the chalk. Put a little... I'm running into the wax. Oh, that's wax. Duh, that's not the chalk white. Where's my chalk white? Where's my generals? Yeah, I can't wait till you start streaming, man. I'm excited. Make sure that when your channel blows up, though, you don't act like you don't know a brother. Like, oh, Wasabi, he big time, so he can't say, hey, he can't give me a shout out, he can't give me a raid, he can't give me a plug. All right, we're done with Shuri. You made a custom. Oh, that's cool. Thank you so much. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, bro. That blesses me. Thank you so much. I do not take that lightly. Thank you. I think I'm gonna add some. Again, more noise. I'm not pressing. I'm just I kind of want the errant streaks. This is the art part, y'all. This is the art part. This is not the technique. This is just, let's elevate it a little bit. Let's make it. And all the time, it doesn't take a whole lot. It doesn't take a whole lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Wasabi. All right, so thank you guys for hanging out. I don't know how I've been on, but this just seems relatively quick. An hour and 40 minutes. Okay, cool. I'm good with that for tonight. But stay tuned. It's some bigger stuff coming. Trust me. As I start to work on these new pages for my studio, I'm going to be here showing you my book creation process, and all the tools that I use, and we're gonna be doing digital and iPad. I'll be working on some prints here, but yeah, this is right now. I'm trying to get into the rhythm of this, right? The rhythm of these evening streams and making streaming and promoting of the school because soon it's gonna be my full-time job when we start the new school year. But check us out at kapowschool.com, the real art school for real people, real lives. We're everywhere at Ka-Pow School. Right now, we are omnicasting, right? So you are probably watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, right? We're on Instagram. We're everywhere. But if you're interested in applying for Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, we are all industry pros. All of my instructors are industry professionals with decades of experience in comics, animation, video games, the whole 9 yards. And we teach you the basics, the fundamentals, as well as get you into telling visually narrative storytelling. And so check us out at kapowschool.com. Apply today. You have to apply. We don't accept everybody. And we only have 6, soon to be 5 seats available. And I got a bunch more cons to go. And I haven't run ads yet. I was supposed to run ads today. I'm probably going to start running the ads tomorrow. Literally. I'm waiting for a script to come in. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This is Dr. Solo. Doc Solo, the comic doctor from Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you. I think I'm going to start streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays with Solo Sketch and Chill. And stay tuned. Follow us on YouTube and Twitch, but especially on YouTube. Give us a follow on YouTube if you're watching us. Check us out, hang out with us. it's going to be some great stuff coming down the pipeline. All right. So God bless you. Have a good night, and keep on drawing. Solo out. Take it easy, brother. All right, may the pen do. All right, take it easy.